Hello all. So in last video we saw how can we load data into date dimension table using Excel formulas. Now in this video we are going to load data into employees dimension. Now so far we have out of this 5 dimension table we have covered these four, like for departments, jobs and locations dimension table we have created a separate stored procedure. In order to load data into date dimension we created different insert statements. Now to load data into employees dimension, we are going to again create a stored procedure. Now source to load data into employees dimension would be st underscore employees table. Now one thing I wanted to tell is while loading a data into ODS table, we use two tables, st underscore employees and st underscore job history tables. So let me look at the data again. So select start from st underscore employees and select star from st underscore job history. So let's run these tables. Now let's take the example of this first record 102 and I will highlight that same record over here. Now if you look at this record, the hire date for this record is 13th Jan 2001. Now in the job history table, if you see again the hire date is or start date is 13th Jan 2001 and end date for that record is 14th 24th of July 2006. Now this doesn't add up. I mean, if the active record has higher date as 13th Jan, why the old record says it got ended on 2006? Ideally if this the old record, the start date and end date at least has to be less than 2001. So I'm not sure what's going on here. So in order to keep our life simple, we are going to ignore this job history table for time being, and we are going to use only st underscore employees table in order to load data into employees dimension as well as to load data into fact table. Now another thing is, let me execute this again. Now out of these many columns, salary and commission percent, these are measurable attributes, so we are not going to keep those columns into our dimension table. That will go into fact table. Now, for manager ID, we are not going to keep manager ID as well in our dimension table. Department ID, we already created a department dimension for that. And similarly, we have created a job dimension for job ID. So we are going to keep only these 3 and 3, 6 columns, okay, into our dimension table. So based on that, I have created this structure already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, exact six columns, which we saw in st underscore employees table. So I will create that table structure now. Okay. Now I will keep it as of now and let's write a select statement. So employee ID, uh, EMP, first name, last name, email, phone number, and hire date. All right, and let me write an insert statement as well. Insert into this and employee ID, first name, last name, email, phone number, and hire date. Perfect. So if I run this, it should work. And another thing is we do not want to insert duplicate records in that. So I should write 1 equal to 1 and not exist. Select one from. We have to use our dimension table here. Dim EMP where 1 equal to 1 and dim EMP dot employee ID equal to EMP dot employee ID. Now for our current data, keeping employee ID as a validation or primary key is fine, because in st underscore employee table employee ID is a primary key. However, what happens is, let me select data again. So what happens is, let's assume these employees got moved from one department to another department. what eventually is going to happen is we are going to store this data already into employees dimension table. All right. And if any change happened to this particular employee, let's say name got changed or hire date got changed. So what will happen? That particular hire date or that particular record with new hire date will never get inserted into employees dimension table. Reason being, we are validating only with the employee ID. Okay, so in case we are assuming that if employee got moved from one department to another department, the corresponding hire date will change. Okay, and to get that updated record into our dimension table, we need to add hire date as well while validating that. Okay, so even though the employee ID is a primary key in our st underscore employee or source table, employee ID will no longer a primary key in our dimension table, employee dimension table. So we are going to keep employee ID and hire date combination, it's combined key as a primary key in our employee dimension table. So that's why I will add another condition like dim employee dot hire date equal to employee dot hire date. Okay, so that even though the new employee got moved from one department to another department, so what will happen in st underscore employees table, this hire date will get changed and this existing record will go into job history table. Okay, so this latest record of st underscore employee will still get inserted into employees dimension table. So in employees dimension table, eventually we will see the two records. Okay, so if I run this query, it should not insert anything. Yeah, it did not. So this is fine. Another thing is, so if so since we have considered employee ID and hire date as a primary key, so if at all something gets changed between these four columns, that should get updated. Okay, so I will write select star from dim employee join, and I will copy this entire guy and emp on dim employee dot employee id equal to emp dot employee id and dim employee dot hire date equal to emp dot hire date. Yeah, this is perfect, and I just have to write update set dot first name equal to emp dot first name comma dim emp dot last name equal to emp dot last name comma dim emp dot email equal to emp dot email, and the last column is dim emp dot phone number emp dot phone number. All right, and I will create a stored procedure, create or alter procedure load dim emp as begin begin, and I will end it here, and individual insert statement as well I will write in begin, and I will just indent it and perfect. Why it is throwing an error? Invalid object name dim emp. Yeah, perfect. Begin end. Yeah, all right. And let me execute this guy. Okay, one more thing I missed was I need to update that column dim emp dot updated on equal to get date. Yeah. Select star from dim employees. Yeah, this is perfect. All right, so if I go back here to our diagram, I have completed the load of all the dimensions. Like for 4 dimension, I have created stored procedure, and for 1 dimension, I have created different insert statements. It's a constant, like this date dimension will not change over a period of time, so it is fine. For remaining things, like we needed separate stored procedure. Now what I will do is I will create a, no, maybe we can do that later. Once we create the at the time of load of for fact load, we are again going to create a separate stored procedure. And what we'll do, all dimension and facts separate stored procedure. So 4 plus 1, 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 1, all separate 5 stored procedures we are going to keep in a single stored procedure. That will do that in the next video. Okay, so thank you for watching this video, and in the next video we are going to see how can we load our HR fact table. Thank you.